けましておめでとう。皆さん、こんにちは。スクイシートークへようこそ。Okay, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 differences between New Year's celebrations in the UK and in Japan. So if you like videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's begin. Okay, number 1, a family celebration. So in Japan, New Year's is typically a celebration for families. You kind of get together with your family on New Year's Eve, have a gorgeous meal, and then on New Year's Day, you go to the shrine together to pray for a good new year, I guess. Which I love that tradition. I think that suits me a lot more than what we do in the UK, which I will get into in a little while. But yeah, it's just a really nice way to spend some time with your family, and I think to introduce the new year with your family is probably just a really sweet thing to do. I think if you want to start your new year with anyone, it should be the people that you care about the most. So I love that. It's different to the UK. So in the UK, you typically spend New Year's Eve with your family, definitely, but mostly your friends. People tend to go out on New Year's Eve and just drink a lot of alcohol and count down to the new year. It's fun, definitely, but I think when you get a bit older, you just don't really have the energy for it anymore because it is really exhausting. And it can also be really expensive because you're drinking a lot of alcohol. There are other reasons it's also expensive, but we will get into that later on in the list. I think for me, I like a nice quiet new year with my family. Okay, number 2, food. So in the UK, particularly England, food is not really a big part of the New Year celebrations. Like I said, most people go out drinking, and honestly, food is the last thing they think about, which probably isn't the best thing for them. But yeah, in Japan, every New Year that I've spent there, I've had a gorgeous meal with my family, and I absolutely love it. I think we typically have seafood, which is just amazing. So yeah, food is definitely more important in Japan. Also mochi as well, which is amazing. We don't really have that in the UK at all. I think maybe in Scotland they eat haggis, but I could be wrong. I do love haggis. I've only ever had it a couple of times, but both times I did really enjoy it. That's Scotland. And also I would say in Scotland, they have more traditional New Year's celebrations there that we don't really have so much in England. I can't really do a video on that because I've actually never been to Scotland, but I do want to go. Trust me, it's on my list. Scotland is apparently amazing. Okay, so number 3, the shrine. So in Japan, on New Year's Day, people go to the shrine to wish for or pray for luck for the new year, or just pray for a good new year in general. We do not have anything like that in the UK at all. I think maybe there are some church services, but it's definitely not a big part of the religious calendar, at least not as big as Christmas. Christmas is when you would go for midnight mass and then a church service the next day. So we're really big on doing traditional things like that for Christmas. And honestly, Christmas is the biggest holiday in the UK. That's when you're going to spend time with your family. Definitely not New Year. New Year is reserved for partying with your friends, which actually is kind of nice because then there's a bit of a balance. You kind of see your family for Christmas and then your friends for New Year, so it's kind of easier to split your time that way. I like Japan's version. I'm a big family person. I absolutely love my family. I love my friends too, but I don't know, something about introducing the new year by getting drunk, just, I don't like that. I feel like you want to start the new year kind of fresh. And yeah, with your family as well. Okay, number 4, New Year's Day is more important than New Year's Eve. So yeah, in Japan, I think it's fair to say the big event is New Year's Day when you go to the shrine together. I think that is the most important part of New Year in Japan. In the UK, no, it's not like that. So in the UK, New Year's Eve is seen as the more important day, which is interesting because we don't have that day off work. That is not a bank holiday. It's New Year's Day that's the bank holiday. But it's New Year's Eve where everybody goes out and just gets really, really drunk and counts down to the new year. So New Year's Day is just the day off that we all have from work to just recover from drinking too much. Oh wow, bad memories. Yeah, so it's interesting that even though that New Year's Eve isn't a bank holiday or really a special day at all, that is the day that gets the most attention, whereas New Year's Day is just honestly, no one's even awake most of New Year's Day. So I do like in Japan that New Year's Day is treated as the more important day because it is the first day of the year. I think it should be. In Japan, you have that meal and you spend time with your family for New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day you go to the shrine. So it is kind of split really nicely actually, because I do think both of those days are important because it's the last day of the year and then the first day of the new year. But yeah, in the UK, we just kind of don't really start being conscious and alert until the second day of the new year. Yeah. Okay. Finally, number 5. Everything is so much more expensive on New Year's Eve. So, on New Year's Eve, if you decide to go out and drink, the pubs and the clubs know that that is what most people plan on doing. So for that reason, they become more expensive, which makes sense because, I mean, why wouldn't you? There's actually a few good reasons for doing this. The first reason, from a business standpoint, is you're gonna make more money. It's the busiest day of the year. The second reason is it helps to control how many people you actually have inside your establishment. If it's the busiest day of the year, you don't want too many people inside because it gets crowded, there could be fights, and it's just a bit of a disaster. So what a lot of pubs and clubs do is they charge an entry fee. And if it's already a place that charges an entry fee on any other day of the year, the entry fee will be more expensive. There are also places that sell tickets as well when they don't normally. And this is just to stop so many people from entering, but it is really expensive. Especially when you consider a normal pub you can just kind of walk into and buy a drink. On New Year's Eve, your local pub might charge you just to walk through the door, which, like I said, it's annoying because it's expensive, but it does make a lot of sense and I do understand why they do it. A lot of people these days, I think, just go to other people's houses to celebrate the new year because it's cheaper and honestly it's more fun. You can be comfortable and safe as well. You don't really always have to worry about the commute home. Although, having said that, in the UK, I don't know if they're going to do it this year, but in previous years, they've made the tube stay open for longer and have even discounted the price or made it completely free, just to make sure that people get home safely. So in Japan, I don't really think this is too much of an issue just because New Year is more of a family holiday, which is really nice. In the UK, this is something you need to be aware of if you plan on celebrating the New Year here. Anyway, that is it for today's list, you guys. As usual, I would love to know what you think, and if I don't see you before the new year, akimashite omedetou. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!